Now this is a subframe, and this is a subframe. Check that out. Well, good morning, welcome back. Triumph Scrambler. Today we start on the tail end. So it's a new subframe. Let's tell you all about it. Now the subframe, if you're really new to motorcycles and don't really know exactly what it is, you've got the frame, which is the front half, the loop that holds the engine, the tank, the forks and everything else. And the rear half that holds the mudguard and the rider is the subframe. It's the bit that's on the back end of the main frame, and it dictates pretty much the shape of the back end of the bike, and it holds just about everything on the back end of the bike. Now this is a subframe, and this is a subframe. Check that out. Now this isn't going to bolt straight on. It's going to need some modification, and for it to even begin to make sense what we're doing here with the project, it's going to need explanation as well. So before we get into it too deeply, let's rip off some of this clutter and all this stuff out the way so you can see this one in the first place. Specialized screw. I don't want to lose that, so we'll flip a nut on it so it stays put. Or you can put them back in the airbox where they come from.
Ugh.
That's one of those battery screws that tinkles down into oblivion you never see again. It was literally underneath the rubber flap of the mudguard, living in the dirt. I think that's everything. I think that's it. 4 screws. I think the whole lot comes out. Right, we always have these, we know this, these metal clips that hold our rubbers squeezed so they're a nice tight seal, and the airbox onto the carbs, carbs onto the engine. Also, when you've got a 2-chamber airbox, that's this part of it which has the filter in, and this section at the back which is a separate chamber, they're held together with 2 clips and a rubber as well, and they should be sealed. But look, there's no clips there, completely missing. It was all that was holding my airbox on. Brake light switch. I don't think that needs a label. We know what a brake light switch is. Okay. Literally. Right, okay, that's the subframe pretty much all stripped, and I'm going to take it out right yet because that's an awful lot more work. Carbs have got to come out, airbox and everything to get to these bolts right down there to strip it. That'll be next one, but for now I want to show you what we're doing with this and why this whole thing is such an exciting project. Now, this absolutely glorious precision bent TIG welded steel subframe is made by a company called CRK. If you've never heard of them, that's an acronym for Cafe Racer Kits. Check them out on Facebook. I'll leave a link below in the description. They're a British company and they hand make these subframes to bolt onto your Triumph T300. But I hear you cry, this is not a T300. Let's explain that. Now, the T300 isn't one of the Terminator robots range. That's the model codes for the big sports touring Triumphs from the 1990s. So the Daytona, the Trident, the Trophy, what's the other one, Ben?
The Sprint.
The Sprint as well. So those bikes, the big sport touring bikes, they had this engine, the 900 3-cylinder engine. The casings on it were more square and chiseled looking, but fundamentally the motor itself, the mill was the same, 900 3-cylinder, carbureted, and the same exact frame as this, but the subframe on the T300s is welded onto the front half of the frame. In these, which is the Thunderbird, the Legend, the Adventurer, and the Sport model, they have a bolt-on subframe, not weld-on, and also they're very different at the front here. They are slimmer, they have a bridge here that holds the tank, and there's no way that this subframe is going to fit this bike. So we've had a chat with CRK and we're working on a very cunning plan. Now, when I say weld-on or bolt-on subframe, this is a bolt-on subframe and it works very clearly and very obviously. You can see here that this piece of tubing comes down to the main spine of the frame, and the tubing, as you can see, has been pressed flat, so it's double thickness, drilled through, and then it simply bolts to the main part of the frame. Easy. And at the top, in here, you can see the piece of tubing the same, gets to about there, it's been squashed completely flat, in there, drilled through, and it's bolted into this, which is the main spine of the frame. And it actually doubles, the bolt head doubles as a lug to hold the airbox. So that's bolt on, the same as the bottom. And the same this side. So 4 bolts hold the entire subframe on. Once you've taken the carbs out and the airbox off, you can get to the top bolts. I can unbolt this, take it off, but that one won't fit on because I'll show you how that one fits. Now, on the T300 bikes, this down tube comes to the bottom and it's welded onto a big lug at the bottom. It can't be unbolted. You have to cut it off at a certain distance. When you buy your T300 subframe, it comes with instructions on exactly where to cut. Precisely, you cut there, and the same goes to the top. They tell you where to cut, and then this fits on in a very cunning way. You don't have to weld it on, it bolts on. Even though your old subframe you've had to cut off because it's welded on, this just bolts into place, and I'll show you how they do it. Now, these 2 top tubes, they are almost like dummy tubes. They will just sit along the top and look like, as they go underneath your CAF Racer tank, they just disappear and become part of the frame. But the bolt there that goes through my frame, that holds my subframe on, that's this section here. This bracketry under here, these machined spacers and this bolt, they will then bolt through. So the top half bolts through the top of your frame, because that hole is in the T300 frames, so that bolts on. The bottom is even more cunning. In fact, this is just genius. Have a look. Turning it over, you can see the secret. Have a look at this closer. Right, this is how the magic bit happens. This welded in solid steel lug slots down into the piece of tubing that you've cut off on your frame. And that slots in and becomes your strength. And then you simply put a bolt through that hole here on the frame, which is for your foot peg. And this bit here, you see sticking up the back, if you turn it round, it makes the whole thing completely invisible, because this will go all the way down to where your frame joins, and all you'll see is a bolt and a straight piece of tube. No slotting in, no nothing, no welding showing. So I think you'll agree, a genius piece of engineering that's meant to make it so that you can cut the subframe off your T300, slot this literally into place and secure it with 3 bolts. That one and these 2 at the bottom. That's amazing. Then all you do is paint it to the colour of your choice, usually powder coat it black or something, and then that's where lots of other options come to play. Now, if you check out their website, and I'd like you to do that, go and check out their website. I'll leave a link directly below. Have a look at it and see the wonderful range of stuff they do, because it's not just these subframes, leaving you to then deal with the rest. They do all that as well. They make a tray that fits into here. It just screws in, and that tray will hold the battery, the ECU, and your fuse box. So all of your ugly electrics from here will then go up into the tail, and there is the classic bump stop type calf racer tail, you know, the fiberglass hump on the back, and then you can then match that in paint to the tank. So they're literally giving you a kit to turn your bike into a calf racer, but that bike would have to be a T300 and mine isn't. Now obviously I want one of these for my bike, but as it's not going to fit, how am I going to get over it? Yeah, I guess I could cut some brackets and I could weld it around and make it fit, but that's not the best way to do it. I had a chat with the guys at CRK and said, is there any way that you could do a fitting kit so I can fit this to my bike in some way? They said, we can do better than that. Do you want to collaborate and do a project together? And this is how we hope it's going to work. Now the lads at CRK said, we'll send you one, offer it up, see how close it is. If it's nearly there by ½ an inch and it almost looks like it fits, then send it back. We can make the modifications if you don't want to do it yourself, and we'll make it fit for you. Alternatively, if it's a million miles away and it ain't going to fit, which it is, and it don't, then why don't you send us this one back and send us your one, and we'll make one from a pattern of yours. Now the mutual benefit of this collaboration as a project will be that I'll get myself a subframe for my bike that will bolt straight on to the factory mounts just like it was made at Hinckley. It will hold my tank and everything else in the normal way, but the back half will be like the T300 range of subframes. It will have the tray that drops all my electrics into, the tail panel that I can paint in colour, and that little single seat. Fantastic. What a premium upgrade for my project. But the benefit for CRK is that they will get the pattern and the intellectual property, and they will own the design. So effectively they can make these for the public, for the customers that they have, or for you if you want one. So this will be the prototype, the first one, the one they make and send to me. It will probably turn up in bare metal to start with, so I can do a test fit, make sure it all fits and get everything bolted together, and yep, that's fine. Then it will go back to them for powder coating so that they turn out what is a finished product that you will get to see the quality of, so that you can invest in one for yourself for your project if you wanted to. We've been working on this collaboration with CRK for a fair few months in the background, and finally we're underway. It's something a little bit more high-end than we normally do, and we are fiercely proud to be involved. Now, the next thing is to get the subframe off completely, drop it in a box and get it off to them so they can start making a pattern. But stripping the subframe to this point is actually quite quick and easy. Getting it out all together though, that's a lot more work. It's tank off, get the carburetors out, which is a whole heap of fun, getting the airbox out, and once I've got the airbox out, I can get to those bolts to undo the top. Then it's out, it's boxed up, and it's away. So join us for the next one, and we'll make a start.